All right, hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, the Rideshare Hub. This is the #1 channel for rideshare drivers and gig workers, including Instacart people. So today we have a super special guest.
Hello. Hi. Hi, Steph On The Pedal. I'm Steph On The Pedal. I also do YouTube. I talk a lot about Instacart on my channel right now.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on the channel. This should be fun. You've been on the channel before, though.
I have been on the channel before. I am not new to this. Yeah.
New to this. So guys, before we get started in today's video, please smash the like button and subscribe if you want to see Steph On The Pedal on the channel again, right?
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, they should do that. If you want it. If not, then maybe I'll just, I don't know, kick you off the channel.
Hey.
All right, so we wanted to make this video, guys. We're just going to be talking about mostly Instacart and other gig work and just navigating life. And we're also going to talk about some drama. We're going to talk about Steph's dating life. No, I'm just kidding.
What? Okay. I was like, I have not been briefed for this, man.
I know that's what they really want to hear, but we're actually going to talk mostly about gig work. So
okay, cool.
If you wanted to just start this off by introducing yourself and what led you, we're going to talk about Instacart, but kind of what led you to navigate into gig work, because you started out with Uber and Lyft and then went into Instacart. So how did that look for you?
Well, I mean, it really had a lot to do with everything that's happening around us right now. So at least in my market, I'm in the Denver area. If you're driving Uber and Lyft, you're not making money right now. So I was definitely doing some mainly Uber driving, and it just slowed down a lot. And plus it felt a little more risky to me just to be that close to someone else in a car. So I really kind of wanted to try to find something else, and Instacart was really appealing to me just because I kind of like grocery shopping anyways.
Yeah.
And, after looking into it a little bit and kind of like, I joined some Facebook groups and listened to some people talk about how much they were making. And I was like, yeah, please sign me up for that. So yeah, it made sense to transition into Instacart. Like I personally don't really see why anyone would be driving right now, but I understand that it's still maybe okay in some markets. It's just not at all in mine.
Yeah. So you're doing Instacart now. When did you kind of stop doing Uber and Lyft?
I want to say maybe like a week after St. Patrick's Day.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was still pretty recent then, right?
Kind of. Yeah. Right. I mean, I haven't been doing Instacart for very long at all. So I've only been up with them for a few weeks.
Yeah. What's your initial experience? Cause I've gone out and done like a couple batches. And then I've also done like a full day of I think we probably did like 8 or 9 batches, which was full 8-hour days. But after that I was exhausted. But the other ones were honestly pretty fun. It was just go out and do a few batches. But what's been your experience since you signed up? How long? Maybe 2 weeks ago now?
I think it's been 3 weeks. Yeah.
What's your overall experience been like?
And I think you were doing Instacart before the world got crazy around us. So you didn't get to experience.
I have a much different experience. I was doing it. No gloves and just no face.
Right.
Definitely.
So I have no idea what it used to be like because I started, kind of in the thick of things. So it was hard. Like the first day I was a wreck. I was just so anxious. There were so many things, you have to refund and replace almost every single item in an order. It's not like the store is just, the shelves aren't stocked, it's really, there's a learning curve. There's a huge learning curve to it. But, once I got past that and kind of my anxiety with it, I did, maybe after even the third batch that I did, I was pretty okay with it.
Mhm.
And, you know, as time has passed and I've done more batches, like it's been pretty easy. Like you kind of
Yeah.
get in the flow of it and really figure it out and get faster at it, which is important.
Yeah, I kind of like didn't go the traditional route, and I just started out with Elias, who had like done 50 batches already. So he was
Yeah.
like we just
Yeah, I
like,
watched that vlog. That was a funny vlog of yours.
yeah, but I didn't have to like learn it all on my own. I could
Right.
imagine like me watching him do his first batch, or when I was doing it, I was like, oh dang, like it would be tough like learning that all on my own. So,
Yeah.
but when I first started driving for Lyft, I was the same way. Like the first few rides I did, I was so nervous. I was like, I didn't even, the first like 3 rides, I don't think I used the GPS because I couldn't even figure out how to turn it on.
I think I remember you saying that in one of your videos. That's funny.
Yeah. So I was like, just, I don't know. It feels weird doing something for the first time. I think it's like that for any job though, right? Like,
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I guess there's a difference because with any other job where you are normally employed, then you would have a trainer and somebody actually teaching you.
that's
And this is just, you're kind of thrown to the wolves to figure it out on your own.
yeah, like I'm remembering when I first worked at Nike. Um, it was like the first job I had where like we had phones, like we checked people out on phones. Like we didn't, there was no like cash registers, or like there were, but most of the checkouts were just done on your phone, and you just like whatever. Everything's like, I didn't know how to do that, and I remember just I would add. There were so many things I didn't know how to do, and I would always ask my like coworkers. Like it was so stressful because I was asking somebody every single minute, but you're doing Instacart, you don't really have that like luxury. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just like guessing it, I guess. Like
At the same time, I have seen
how did
so many Instacart shoppers out when I'm doing it. So, like, you maybe could ask people
that's true
questions.
actually now, yeah.
Yeah.
Like how did you like figure out how to do the refunds? How did you figure out how to replace an item? How did you even figure out how to check out for the first time? Is like were you able to learn that on the app, or was it just kind of like
The app is pretty intuitive. So, I mean, it's really, even though there's kind of a lot to it, it still walks you through the steps.
yeah.
So it's just really like, you know, certain tricks that you pick up as you learn the app. But I mean, you're probably not going to get screwed on your first order unless you,
Yeah.
I don't know, can't think for yourself, I guess. That's not very nice, but
Yeah. Cool. Well, awesome. Um, by the way, did you use my referral code when you signed up, right? Like obviously.
did I? I don't know. I can't remember whose referral code I used. I know that I did. It might have actually been yours. I
How
don't
about
remember.
this? How about this? I'll leave both of our referral codes down below, and the viewer can choose which person's code they want to use.
Like referral code roulette. I like it.
Yeah. Anyways, so moving right along, the real question is, and we'll get into numbers like day by day, week by week, but in general, how much money do you make doing Instacart?
So, I mean, it seems like when I first started doing it, it was like the first few days, I was like $16, $17 an hour, which I
Yeah.
wasn't thrilled about. But as I've been learning, it seems like my hourly rate just keeps going up.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I'm getting faster. And it's like I hit, $20 an hour, and then I had like a $23 an hour day. And then just recently I almost hit $30 an hour.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I would say it would, and it's funny because I know that it varies so much in different markets. And like I've talked to people that are making $40 an hour, I mean, according to them, pretty consistently. Whereas I'm not sure that's the case in my market. Like, I don't know if that's attainable, but I think definitely at least for me, I think like between like the 25 to $30 an hour range is probably about where I'll be.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, I think we were doing like, well, the thing with the thing like when I was going out and doing it, we would like sit and wait a lot for like bigger batches to come in. And when at the beginning, it was like there would be like a few like $9 ones and like whatever. Obviously now it's completely different. Like you don't, I'm assuming you don't have to wait.
Never.
Yeah.
No, I'm not waiting. It's so consistent. I mean, there are constantly batches available. Sometimes, I might wait for a minute just to get a better batch.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there's at least something that's like reasonable that I would take at any point in time. Like
Yeah.
any time that I turn my app on, as long as the grocery stores are open, there is some work for me to go do.
Yeah, because even here, like if I want to order groceries as an Instacart customer, I can't even place an order. It just says the shoppers are working to like deliver all the groceries, check back to place an order. Like there's unlimited. It's I wouldn't say like
Yeah.
limited, but like the demand is so high. Um, but what's your ideology between like? Do you ever wait a long time and try to just wait and see if there like a big order pops up, or like
I, I,
what's your
hmm,
time versus like okay, I'm just gonna grab whatever I need.
yeah, I don't like to wait too long just because I feel like, I mean, in that amount of time that I waited, I could have taken a smaller batch and been making more money. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think the longest I ever waited was like a half hour. And that was just me just kind of testing it out to see
yeah.
what would happen. But it didn't seem worth it to me. So yeah, I
Also,
don't think I'll do that again.
also, just for the people watching, like if they don't haven't never done Instacart, I know I was actually talking to Greg Wave. He's on the channel, and he didn't really know much about it, and he didn't realize. And I thought, oh yeah, that's actually a good point. That you don't have to like ever deny a batch. Like you can choose your batches. So on Uber, a ride request comes to you, and you accept
Oh,
it, and your cancellation rate goes down. But with Instacart, you just go to a pool of batches or deliveries, whatever you call them, and just pick and choose which one you
yeah.
want. So it's kind of like low risk, I guess. You're not like, I feel like with Uber and Lyft, you're kind of pressurized to like take it, and if you don't, then you're penalized.
You're right. I didn't think about that. And it's good that you bring that up because I bet you're right. A lot of people probably don't realize that it works that way.
Yeah, because Greg was like, he had no idea, and I was like, yeah, I guess that does make sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, so let's break down. Um, let's see. How much money do you make per week? Let's do that. Do you have like a week that you can? I know you told me you're a little like inconsistent with your weeks, but
Yeah, very.
what's
See,
like
I
the most
mean,
you've done in a week?
what?
What's
What's that?
like the most hours you've done or batches you've done in a week?
Um, like this is so sad. I feel pathetic, but I've only like 19 hours is the most that I've done so far.
Wow. That's a,
Um, and that was basically like my first full week, and I did 411.84 for that. But I have a video up on your channel actually about that week.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Um,
the people watching might not want to.
no, yeah, for sure. It's not like they watch every single video on your channel. But
Wait, does
yeah,
that count the time that you wait in between, or is that just the online time?
no, so that's something that I know. So you know how with Uber and Lyft, like the time that it shows, it's normally way off from what you're actually working. I've noticed with Instacart, my time that it's showing is actually like true. It's the time that I think it's including wait time and everything. Or if it's not, maybe it's just because I don't wait for batches. I just take
Yeah,
them back to back.
yeah.
So yeah, so that, I mean, I definitely think like my hourly rate on that is skewed a little bit just because that was me still kind of learning. I expect that, it's definitely going to go up from there.
So your most earnings in a week is 411.
I guess actually that's not true. So I have a week where I did 14 and a half hours and I did 375.
Okay.
So that's like what, like $27 an hour, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's a good average for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And
yeah,
there's cash tips too. And that's been happening frequently. And
yeah.
that's not including my cash tips. And I get cash tips often. Like I had a $45 cash tip the other day for like a batch that I think I made like $30 on the batch itself. And then I
Yeah.
got a $45 cash tip on it. And she gave me like N95 masks.
Yeah.
She gave
Oh,
me
were those N95s?
yes.
You're like, I think I should donate these to the hospital, but like,
I will take them.
yeah, I mean, honestly though, like, I'm people like right now are just super thankful for shopper, like for people
They
doing,
are.
like I've been ordering food, like meals, and actually
Yeah.
I'm like at the beginning I was like of this whole lockdown thing, I was like zero contact with anyone just because I was like freaking out. And
Yeah.
I couldn't do Instacart and I needed groceries. And I had some other errands that I needed to be run, like I need like quarters for my laundry. And so like I was like, I can't have an Instacart shopper get that for me. And they didn't have train
Yeah.
clothes on the Instacart. So I ended up um, having my buddy Elias do the shopping for me.
You're ridiculous.
And I paid him $75.
You did?
Yeah, I was like, because
I
he,
would have done your shopping.
and I was like, you know what? Like, thank you so much, dude. Like, I don't want to go out and do it, and plus I have like medical whatever. Like, I'm not gonna get into that, but still, like,
Oh.
I was just super thankful. And like, if I could get an Instacart, I would tip them probably like $50. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I just feel like
No,
right
people
now,
are
yeah.
so appreciative. And I mean, it almost makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like that that's happening and people are recognizing that it's kind of a big deal. But yeah, I mean, people thank me constantly.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're definitely showing their appreciation through gratuity, which is nice.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but I would say majority do. And then it's almost like I almost feel like I'm in the military. Like, thank
Yeah.
you for your service.
Yeah.
Which is it's so
Like
strange.
you're protecting people. Like,
It's true.
a
Like,
lot
I
of
mean,
people who are like elderly or like
yeah,
who can't go out and risk
yeah,
it. So like there almost is a um, nobility factor, or like some
hmm
you're giving back in a certain way. Do you feel that at all?
I signed up to make money.
Obviously.
That's been a nice bonus to it. So yeah, I mean, I didn't think of it that way at all when I signed up, to be honest. Like, I didn't think like, oh, this is great, I'm gonna feel like I'm helping people. But after doing it and really seeing and like hearing people's stories, like people have shared stuff with me, like, have no idea how much this means to me. Like, me and my mother are both high risk, like we can't go out. Like,
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing this. And yeah, I mean, you do kind of feel good about it.
Cool. So we went through your weekly earnings. What about per day? What's your like daily earnings? I don't know, a typical day. What does that look like for you? And how much do you make per day?
So I will give you, let's see, I have this day recently where I did
You can
just
walk through it because I'll edit in the screenshot.
okay. I did just under let's see. I'll go back and I'll give you a couple more.
What about your first
So
day? You want to go through your first day, or did you find the day?
I found a day. I found the day that I sent you that screenshot of.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I feel so thrown off now. So there's this day that I have where I did a little under 6 hours, and I made like $174 on that day.
Oh, wow.
I think that was my best day that I've had so far.
That's like over $30 an hour.
I think it's just 30, right? Or like,
Oh, 6 hours? Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I'll tell you my very first
Cash
day.
tips that day at all, or no?
Say what's up?
How often do you get cash tips?
Like, almost every day that I work, I get cash tips.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't think it's been consistently every single day, but more often than not,
Do
I
you
think I'm
do
getting
like
cash.
whatever your like? I want to get into the whole like coronavirus stuff, like working in that, but like let's get into that in a second. Okay, how
Okay.
so you made $170 in a day. Um
hmm
What about what's like a bad day? That's probably like a good day.
Well, I'll give you my first day. So this is my first day that I ever worked. I only took 3 batches that day. I worked like 3.5 hours. I made $84.
Oh, so that's like
Like
so those are like
that's actually $24 an hour. So I don't know where my $16 an hour number came from. Oh,
yeah,
that wasn't my first day. Was it my first day? That was not my first day. I am so lying to you.
it's fine.
Man. Okay. Wait. I have my first day. So my first day, I worked 4 hours and made $60.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's like $15 an hour.
Yeah. When you're picking a batch, what do you look for? I know you were talking about that in one of your vlogs I was watching when you were what were you doing? You like it's
I
so interesting to watch you vlog while you shop because you were like you drove to a certain you got a ride really far, a 20-mile ride or something, and then you were like stuck, and then you drove 40 minutes to your favorite restaurant or your
My
grocery store.
favorite grocery store. I was just an idiot that day.
I was like, oh my gosh, you're like, I really don't want to drive 4 miles, but instead I'm going to drive 45 minutes to my grocery store.
I know.
You're like, this batch is way too far away, 4 miles. Oh, by the way, I just drove 30 miles to a grocery store. I was like, that makes no sense.
I know. I was.
And then you were like, oh, I'm already halfway there, so I can't go back. I was like, all right, it does make sense.
Well, I think what happened, I don't remember how far it was, but yeah, I took a batch and it like took me in the middle of freaking nowhere. And yeah, I think it was like 5 miles or something, maybe. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I was like nowhere around where I wanted to be. So
Yeah.
then I just like autopilot. I was like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store that I like, and I'm like, yeah, it's 40 minutes away.
Okay.
Okay.
I had one ride when I was doing Lyft, and it was like an hour. And so I used to do Lyft before my job. Like I had a job that started at noon every day, and so I would sometimes like every day I would try to wake up and do it. Some days I wouldn't, whatever, and I would drive after work. But like I would have to be back in time for work at 12, right? So it's like it's kind of like when it's like 10, I'm like, oh shoot, I hope I don't get a really far ride because or else I'm gonna be late. And sometimes I would be late, but like I got a ride so far. It was to an airport and literally in the middle of nowhere. And I dropped the guy off and I was like, and usually I would try to like get a ride back and I was stuck. And then I was like racing back to work, driving like, I had to drive like 60 or 70 miles.
Oh no.
It was like in the middle of nowhere. I
That
don't know.
sounds
I feel
awful.
like sometimes doing these gig apps, you just find yourself in like really interesting situations that you would never find yourself in otherwise.
Definitely. Well, I think it's, driving around, I've learned, because I'm not from Denver, but I've learned the city so much better by doing this. And I'm seeing places, I mean, because there's a lot of pretty locations around me. So I'm seeing things that I probably never would have discovered on my own.
Yeah, or even ever had an excuse to even go drive there. Like,
Yeah.
I've gone in like gated communities or like places that I never would have.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh well, now I can see it. But
Right.
have you had any bad experiences doing Instacart?
Yeah, I think how many in was it? It was like maybe my second or third day. I actually had had a woman tell me that she wanted to cancel the order after I had shopped for half of it already. So yeah. So she I don't know, she ordered it and she said it was an older lady. I think she just didn't know how to use it. So
Yeah.
she said she had canceled the order and she wasn't responding to me. So I just kept trying to get a hold of her and I finally got a hold of her. And that's when she said, oh, I canceled that order like 10 days ago. And I was like, no, you didn't. So I shopped all of it back. And then I tried to get a hold of Instacart support, which that's not happening.
Did you see
So
my video today when I try to like contact?
no,
There
I
was
didn't.
there was 141 people ahead of me in Instacart support. I was
Oh
like, imagine being shopping and having a question, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll just wait for 141 people to be helped first.
no, thanks. So the thing is that I don't know. I know this is happening to some Instacart shoppers to where they don't even have like if you go. So if you're in the Instacart app, the shopper app, you hit this question mark on top of your screen, and then it's supposed to take you to another page where you'll see like a little icon on the top where it's like a guy with a headset, and then you're supposed to be able to click on the headset, and that's how you reach support. Well, my guy with a headset is gone. It's
Yeah,
like
something that
not there.
you have to go somewhere else. It's like a different part of your app.
Yeah, it's they've like buried it within the app,
Yeah,
probably because they don't want people reaching out to them.
yeah,
But
you go to like help or earnings or something, or like
yeah, I've figured it out since then, but I didn't figure it out then.
yeah,
And what I ended up doing was I refunded every single one of her items in the order, but it won't let you refund the last order without Instacart's approval. So I just like forced the last item in the order through checkout and all the way through delivery. And I still got paid for the order.
oh,
So like super sketch. Don't really know what happened with that. Hopefully she got her money back, but it was out of my hands because I mean, what else was I gonna do? I didn't know what
yeah,
I was doing.
that's wasted. Like, yeah. Did we? So the biggest earnings that you had in a day that was 171 bucks, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, if I worked longer, I would definitely make more.
so
I like working short hours.
if you could bring up that that day on your earnings and then just break, I want to talk to you about like, because people watching this, they want to make, you know, they want to hit those bigger hours. So like, or those
Yeah.
earnings. How? Let's break down that day. Let's break down the batches you chose. I mean, you probably won't remember the specific batches, but like, did you go out in the morning? Did you take a break? Did you do all day? What kind of batches were you hitting? Bigger,
No, I did everything back to back. So my first batch I took was at 1 p.m. And that batch, let's see. So they had a promotion that day on Instacart.
yeah, I've been seeing those.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. I'm going to record this for you.
Perfect.
So, okay. So yeah, the first day I started at 1, and then the first that batch had a promotion on it for $3. It also had a peak boost on it. So which is like surge
Yeah,
if you're more familiar with Uber. So yeah, it had a $12 peak boost on it. And then the batch payment was $10, and the tip was only like $5, but it didn't really matter after getting $15 in extra pay just from Instacart.
hmm,
So that one was for $25. And it looks like, so that went from 112 to 230. So it didn't take me really all that long to get through that one.
yeah,
The second one I took had 18 items in it. I got paid out $21 for it. It still had the promotion and peak boost on that too. So $3 promotion, $10 peak boost, total of $26 for that one. That took me about an hour. I took my next one at 3:30. That one was for $65. So that's actually the biggest batch that I've taken so far. To be perfectly honest, I don't really see these very often. And I know like other areas, they get a lot more of these than I think we do in Denver.
yeah.
But that one, the tip was most of that. So there was a $6 boost on that. It had the $3 promotion still, but I got a $35 tip off of that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it took me 2 hours,
Mhm.
almost exactly 2 hours to finish doing that one. And then I had a $16 one, which I probably just took this. I think I took this to try to get closer to my house.
Okay.
But still, it only had 10 items in it. So $16 for 10 items is pretty good because you knock that out quick. $6 peak boost, just like a $2 tip on it. And
Yeah.
then the last one I took for the day was like $37 for 37 items.
Mm-hmm.
It has a $12 peak boost on it and a $12 tip on it. So my tip, actually, the customer increased the tip after the fact. So
Oh,
the
really?
customer was only originally tipping $5.20, and you can see that right here in the app. They were only tipping $5.20, but then it says the customer modified the tip post delivery and they increased it to $12.76.
Do you remember
Yeah.
like? Do you? Oh, yeah. And then we'll kind of transition to this, but like, are you doing contactless deliveries, or are you coming in
Most
contact with the people? I'm assuming they don't want to.
No, most people don't want to see you. So for the most part, like all my communication that I have with customers is through the app. And like I show up at their house, I drop their groceries off on their front porch.
Yeah.
Occasionally people, well, like it happens pretty frequently. People will open the door and start to bring their groceries in as you're taking them and putting them on the porch. But like I think everyone so far has been pretty respectful about your distance and like
Yeah.
not getting close to you or making sure they're in the house by the time you're bringing up another load of bags to set on their porch.
Yeah, for sure.
I have taken tips out of people's hands. That's the closest I've gotten to anyone.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, what's it? And then I mean, this is like the biggest question that I'm sure new people who are like scared of doing it or interested, but like, what is it like shopping in the grocery store? And how do you social distance while you're doing Instacart in the grocery store?
Yeah. um, I was really nervous about that at first too. I definitely didn't. And still don't want to get sick. Um, it's very hard to social distance inside of a grocery store. It's almost impossible. I mean, think about the aisles. I know some places they only have one-way aisles, so they're really trying to enforce that.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
from what I've seen, for the most part, like you're not social
You're
distancing at the
just,
grocery store. It's not really happening. Some people are mindful of it, but there's a lot that aren't. And yeah, I mean, I wear a mask. I wash my hands all the time. I've kind of accepted the fact that I might get sick
yeah.
at this point, which sucks. Yeah, I'm a little less worried about it. And I probably shouldn't be. I mean, it's not like I've loosened, my safety measures that I'm taking because I'm less worried. I don't want to live in fear over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a little bit of a weird feeling for sure, but I mean, there's not much I could do. I mean, I guess I could just file for
You do
unemployment.
let's talk about what you do for safety. So you wear gloves.
Yeah, I actually don't wear
You don't.
gloves. I have reasons for that. I don't, I almost like, I actually haven't talked about this much on my channel just because like I worry about putting information out there that isn't solid. I have reasons for not wearing gloves. I will share them if you want them, but it's just an opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
I don't care. I don't. Yeah. I've worn gloves like once or twice.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you just Google search Instacart, if you Google search coronavirus and gloves, like most of what you see on the front page of Google are like studies that are proving that gloves are, can actually do more harm than good. And mainly it's because people don't keep up with the hygiene that they should when they're wearing gloves, and they almost treat it as like they're invincible and they touch whatever the heck they want, and
Yeah.
then they're not washing the gloves or replacing them as often as they should. So I mean, as soon as I get to the store, I walk in, I wash my hands in the sink for the whole freaking 20 seconds that you're supposed to. I get out, I go, I have hand sanitizer with me that I'm always carrying with me. And anytime like I get weirded out as I'm walking through the store, I'm just like my hands are like disgusting right now because
Are they-
they're raw.
yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I pay a lot more attention to the cleanliness of my hands by not wearing gloves than if I would. And like, what kind of stock of gloves would I have to have if I was using them properly? Like, I mean, somebody that does Instacart, they might do 50 batches a week. Like, you need a pair of gloves for every single batch you do. Like, you need to throw those gloves away as soon as you walk out the store. You need to make sure you're not contaminating your hands when you take your gloves off, which a lot of people do. And then they're not washing their hands because they feel like they were protected by the gloves.
Or
But
touching
no.
everything in the store and then
Yeah.
the gloves, touching your car. Like,
So yeah.
yeah,
The gloves thing I'm a little frantic about just because I've been getting some backlash over not wearing gloves, and I think it's wrong.
yeah.
The mask thing, I
Okay,
understand. I
so
do wear a mask.
you wear a mask.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, I personally have not even been in a grocery store since this whole thing happened. Are you finding that there's like protective barriers? Because I know some stores are doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think that's almost every store I've been in. They've had the barrier for the cashier.
Yeah, they have the barrier
Yeah.
for cashiers. And then the cashiers, they're like, I'm assuming they're wearing gloves or no?
Um,
Store policy or no? Not really.
some do, some don't. I mean, a lot of the grocery store employees don't wear masks even. Like, it's very common to see somebody not wearing a mask or gloves, and vice versa. Some wear both. Some wear one or the other.
Fair enough. So yeah, just practicing hygiene, washing your hands. And it sounds like before, during, and after every batch, every
I
delivery.
don't get me wrong, like I don't think wearing gloves is a bad idea, but I just think people that are choosing to wear gloves
Yeah.
need to be aware of these things, that it could be doing more harm.
Mhm.
So they just need to know how to use them right, is all.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard that before, but I also like don't personally wear gloves because I don't go out. So
Right.
um, that's interesting though. It's a good discussion. What's the best way to learn how to use the app? Like, do you watch videos on like app tutorials, or do you just go out and do it, trial and error?
I don't think I watch anybody's Instacart video to try to learn the app, honestly, which is funny. I don't, yeah, I just did it. I just did it. I started, well, I mean, like for the first few days, I've watched obviously a lot of Instacart content since then, but
I don't remember.
yeah,
There are like little training videos. Yeah, there are little training videos in the app when you first sign up. I remember I did that, right?
demo orders. Yeah, you can take demo orders, which,
I didn't
yeah,
realize,
I didn't do that.
I didn't know what those were, so I just didn't do them.
I, I think you actually have to be at the store to do it,
Yeah, I was like, I'm
which
not
sounds awful. Like, I wouldn't suggest doing that right now, like putting yourself at
gonna.
risk to not make any money. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
You can still click on the demo order and kind of like filter through it to sort
Yeah.
of see how things work.
Yeah. So what do you? I think we kind of touched on it, but I did want to ask you, like, what do you specifically look for in a batch when you're picking a batch? What do you like when you see? For me, I like to just see the lower unit number, like, or item
Yeah.
number, higher. Like, I don't really pay attention to mileage personally. I'm like,
Mm.
in my area, a difference between driving 10 miles and 2 miles is literally 8 minutes, and I don't really care. But like, yeah, what do you look for in a batch? What makes you pick one or not pick one?
So I definitely look at the item and unit number.
Yeah.
And then I really like to see the pay like somewhere around the dollar per item mark. If I can get that or anything above, like I feel like that's a good batch to take. I do look at the distance. One of the biggest benefits of doing this to me or the biggest perks is that I'm putting so much less wear and tear on my car. I'm spending so much less in gas. So I would rather take batches where I don't have to drive a lot after. And so it shows you a mileage amount. And so that mileage is from the store to the person's house. And, the lower that is for me, the better. I try to go for like 2 miles or less.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because I personally just don't care. But yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, what kind of what kind of car do you drive? Because I use like I have an SUV and I have hella trunk space. So like,
Mm.
do you?
I have a Acura RDX, so it's a hatchback. So it's like a fully open, trunk area. And I started laying down my seats because I have been taking some bigger batches.
Yeah. Have you ever not had enough room? I mean, you have a hatchback, but no. Okay.
No, I could,
You just fill all the seats if you really had to.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
for sure.
I guess it doesn't matter. You can pretty much do Instacart with any car, pretty much.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, even if you took a giant like Sam's Club order in a small little, I don't know, compact car, I feel like, I mean, it would be tight, but you could probably, fill the trunk and then start filling the passenger seat. And I mean, it would suck, but whatever.
Yeah, it's probably would just be here and there though. So
Yeah, exactly.
let's talk about the worst people, those tip baiters, man. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we're gonna talk about tip baiting in a bit. What are your? We did talk about this a bit, but I did want to offer tips for making more money. So like, what kind of tricks do you use to increase your hourly rate and like
Okay.
strategies for shopping in the store to be faster, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
What's that game show? Like Supermarket Sweep or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what I'm like in the store. I just like
yeah,
sprint down the aisles, and I'm not kidding though. Like I move fast. Like I mean, I know I'm like not really answering your question yet, but I swear that I will. But that is another thing that I really like about this is just like the benefit of versus Uber and Lyft where you're sitting in a car all day. Like that's
yeah.
miserable. Like it's so nice to be moving around.
I was having a
So
good
nice.
discussion with somebody about that too. Like with the difference between driving Uber and Lyft, like you're exhausted after driving mentally and physically, but
Yeah,
you're not burning any calories and you're
exactly.
just getting
Yeah.
fat, I
Well,
guess.
I mean, I know it's true. Like I've already had comments about my weight gain on my videos, which is fine. Like I'm gonna address it now. Yeah, I put on 30 pounds since I started doing Uber and Lyft. Like
No
I'm not
way.
gonna blame it all on Uber and Lyft, but yeah, I gained 30 pounds since I started Uber and Lyft.
Oh
I
wow.
stopped bartending though. Like that's such an active job. Like so going from bartending to Uber and Lyft and sitting in a car all day, like it just my body was in shock.
Definitely, yeah.
Um, so yeah, moving again is so effing nice. But yeah, you were talking about tips I had for making more money. There are definitely a couple things that I do that I think help. And
Wait,
I think,
hold on. I kind of want to like talk about the exercise thing for a bit because
yeah, okay.
I think it's like it's a really nice perk of doing Instacart too.
Yeah.
And like when I was doing Uber and Lyft like full time, um, it was like I had to really be uh, what's it called? Like I really had to focus on getting my work like exercise in other ways because I knew that like if I did it, it was like hard to really like dedicate time to that. In my
Yeah.
other job, I was walking around, so it was like good to have that balance. But like, I needed to make sure I was getting like even proper sleep too, and like rest. And it's like pretty dangerous doing Uber and Lyft, especially when you are
Yeah.
tired and
It's hard on
stuff.
your body.
Yeah, but
I
like,
mean,
but I feel like with Instacart, it's like a little bit less risk in that you're not transporting people, firstly, and you're
mm-hmm.
not tired while transporting people. So like obviously driving is a dangerous activity, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're the best driver in the world or the worst, it's kind of out of your control.
Right.
But with Instacart, I think it could be a good incentive for some people to see that it is it's good exercise too.
Yeah. No,
So
I mean, I 100% agree with that. And I mean, that incentivizes me some in my hustle too when I'm shopping. So, I mean, I know that I'm burning more calories when I'm like sprinting down an aisle. So,
do you track your steps or no?
no, I have a Fitbit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just I can't get into it.
I've started doing that now that like I don't have a gym membership anymore. So I try to hit 10,000 steps a day, which is like maybe 3 miles, like walking, which is like a decent amount. Like, but
Right.
I'm sure you're hitting like a lot of steps. Like,
Oh yeah, no
yeah.
doubt.
And also loading groceries and unloading, like it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a pain, but like it's a,
No, I don't mind it. Sometimes there are heavy things like big cases of water and whatnot, but giant bags of dog food, I kind of like it,
yeah.
honestly. I enjoy that part of it.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That's a good like perk as well, I guess.
Right.
So back to running around the like grocery store. What do you focus on getting? Like when you first get the list, what items do you go for first, last? Um, I mean, some problems I face is like not even be able to find items. How do you tackle those issues so you're like not, so you're being time sensitive and time efficient?
Well, I mean, there is also a counter on the bottom. So when you accept a batch and you start shopping, you'll see this little counter down on the bottom.
Yeah.
So I'm always racing that counter and I usually blow that time out of the water.
Uh,
But
which I
but
also heard that the counter literally means nothing, but
I know I know
it's like the
somebody
goal time, right?
I actually got myself in trouble because I responded to a comment where a girl asked on somebody else's video. She said, so what happens when the timer runs out? And I responded, it wasn't even on my channel. I responded on someone else's channel and I said, yeah, a bomb explodes and then you have to put every single item back that from your order. And then a van pulls up with a bunch of people from Instacart and they throw you in the back of it.
Oh my gosh.
People got so mad at me, but it's like,
Oh, they didn't think
nothing.
you were joking? They couldn't tell you?
Whatever. I don't know. Internet trolls, but
Yeah. I mean, nothing happens. Like,
nothing.
yeah.
Right.
And plus, at least right now, like for people when you're new, like you're gonna learn to like beat it anyway. But like if you go over right now, the people who are ordering groceries, they're putting in their orders like a week in advance. If it takes an extra hour, they
Nobody cares.
like.
Right.
But
Yeah.
okay, so back to
Plus,
strategy. Sorry.
sorry, we are so all over the place.
Well, it's
But
good for people to know. I mean, yeah.
you wanted to know like the order in which I shop, like what
Well, like we already,
what I
I want to like help people understand how to like engage your mind to increase your hourly rate, and we already talked
right.
about like picking bigger batches.
Moving quicker, right.
But like, how do you be quicker in the store? And I saw in one
So
of your videos that you do all the frozen items last, which makes sense. But like,
yeah. I think I mean there are little tricks that I guess I've kind of picked up as I go. I know a lot of people with the replacements, at least right now, some people are like messaging the customer every single replacement that they want to do. I don't do that unless I feel like it's way off, then I'll send them a message. But instead, what I'll do is as soon as I get to the store, I have like a pre-written message that
mm,
says, hey, this is your Instacart shopper. I just want to let you know I'm shopping now. Please keep an eye on the app for changes and replacements rather than going through this messaging system. It would be easier if you just approved or declined those straight through the app.
yeah,
So that way it kind of like training them, don't talk to me this whole time because don't get me wrong, like I do my fair bit of chatting and like I'll message them if I find like toilet paper or something, which is something I don't find here often. I'll send them a photo and say, hey, do you want this?
mm,
Like if
that's
somebody takes toilet paper from me, if I add that to their order, like automatic tip increase.
yeah,
Automatic.
definitely. That's nice.
Yeah. So I mean stuff like that. And like with
I'm actually
produce.
curious. Is there toilet paper at places now or no?
Every now and then, yeah.
Okay.
Every now and then I'll see some, but I think it's I've been watching another girl that does Instacart videos and she's like showing walls of toilet paper
Oh,
in New
really?
York. Oh, Dimples. The Dimples girl. She was on the
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it just probably varies.
I spent like $50 on a like a normal size pack of toilet paper off eBay. I like totally.
No, you didn't.
Well, like I was like, I'm not going to a store. I'm not running around right now. And I was like, I'm rich.
Oh
I
my
got YouTube money. I
gosh.
don't care. No.
Shut up. No, I did when this first started happening, I kind of saw the direction the toilet paper was
That's
heading in,
nice.
and
Yeah,
I got toilet paper. I wasn't like a crazy hoarder about it, but I got 2 pretty large size
that's
packs of
good.
it that I haven't even touched.
Yeah,
So
I had like 2 rolls left, so I was like,
I mean, one of my biggest fears in life is running out of toilet paper. So I always have a stock, anyways.
that's
I'm
good.
just kidding. That is not one of my biggest fears.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not.
Apparently, it's a lot
I
of.
don't know why it's such a thing. Like, we lived without toilet paper before. We'll live without toilet paper again, but
Yeah.
I guess it would be inconvenient.
What? Yeah. So moving right along, what are some tips for new Instacart shoppers?
I think, something I was going to mention was the produce. So it took me a while to figure this out, but if you have a lot of produce in your order, it's best if so normally you have to put the weight in of the produce, and that kind of takes a lot
Yeah.
of time. So you don't want to be grabbing one item, going and weighing it, grabbing another item, going and weighing it. No. So like at least here they have the produce bags. I don't know. I don't think everywhere has produce bags anymore. We still have produce bags.
Yeah, we do here.
You
Yeah.
do? Okay.
Yeah.
So at least here, I grab all my produce bags. I count how many items I have, grab the bags. Then I go shop for everything. I don't enter anything into the app until I'm sitting in front of the weight station. And then I weigh it all at once.
Mm,
That way, like, I feel like that saves me so much time.
yeah.
So much time.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
So, do you ever call the customer or do you just do chat?
I will occasionally call them. Sometimes it's almost better if you aren't in contact with them. The only thing I worry about with that is that they might end up taking my tip away because they, I don't know, think that I didn't do something right. But I always send the message no matter what. And I normally send multiple messages saying like, please respond, or like, let me know that you're seeing these changes if they're not responding to me,
Sure,
to
yeah.
kind of like cover myself. But unless I have to make really crazy changes to the order at this point, I'm not calling them, and I'm just kind of doing the way I think I should.
Yeah.
But I also think I'm pretty good at picking replacements for people. Like, I don't do anything too out of
Well,
line.
do you use the suggestions or do you?
No.
Oh, okay. You just find.
No. Okay, I guess that's another tip that I have. So at least
Let's
the
talk about
success.
replacements because new people probably have no idea what that means. So,
So I mean, replacements is something you have to do a lot of right now, just because the shelves are so bare. So somebody might want, this spaghetti burrito, or however the heck you say that. Is that
yeah,
right?
that's a good pronunciation. It's Italian.
Okay. So somebody might want that spaghetti, but okay, they don't have that, but they might have angel hair spaghetti. So instead of, refunding that item, you would probably try to replace it with the angel hair.
Gotcha.
And then, so right in the app, it just guides you through it. You just say scan replacement. And usually it gives you this list of recommendations of things that you should pick. I think that list is probably beneficial when the stores are stocked and the
Full.
shelves are
Yeah.
full. But if you're looking at that list, like, it almost always just holds you up and makes it takes longer to try to go through the list. And then, something in the list, it might be like, oh wait, there it is. And then you look at it and then you go to scan it and it's like, oh no, this is the wrong item weight. Pick the right one. So no, I think it's just easier if you go to scan your replacement. It gives you the list of different items of
Yeah.
suggestions. Scroll to the bottom of that list. Don't even look at it. Hit scan replacement for the second time, and then just scan whatever you picked.
I also feel like right now, customers are much more lenient with replacements because they know that
Yeah.
some of their items aren't going to be there. And like just going back to when I had Elias, my shopper, going out and doing my stuff, I told him, dude, if they don't have anything, just pick whatever else you can find. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like if they don't have the, I don't know, chicken or whatever, I don't know, because I like boneless chicken. Like I don't care. I'll eat whatever at this point. I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
people are just like, we just want groceries. So
Most people are that way unless they have actual allergies or
yeah,
something of that nature, which, you know, hopefully they are communicating that to you through the app if they do.
if
And
they order gluten-free pasta, like you can kind of try to find another gluten-free pasta.
well, that pasta, at least here for whatever reason, is one of the items that is just like white. I mean,
Oh,
usually there's like one type of pasta, or they might have like that weird red lentil pasta or something, you know,
yeah.
like not normal pasta.
Yeah. Cool. So aside from coronavirus, do you prefer Uber and Lyft or Instacart if you could choose one right now?
Absolutely Instacart. Like
Yeah.
like 1,000%. I wish I would have started with Instacart. I just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly worried, you know, once all of this is over, I don't know if this is still going to be as good as it is now. I mean, because tips are so high and
True.
then, you know, the demand is there. Like, I don't know if the demand is still going to be there. Plus they're trying to bring on 300,000 new people. Like, I don't know what that's going to mean for Instacart when, you know.
I mean, yeah, when I was going out before, like unless you wanted to do like a $10 batch with including tip, like you're waiting like
Yeah.
a lot. So yeah.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily that way here. I've heard some of my customers have said that they waited a few days for it, but then I had a lady tell me the other day, she's like, yeah, I told them I would like it same day if they're able to get it to me. And she said, and you showed up a couple hours later.
Oh, nice.
So I don't think that's always the case, the wait. But honestly, like, I don't know if I should be saying this. I would never recommend a customer use Instacart. Like, I would, not a customer, but like a friend of
Friend.
mine.
Yeah.
I would never say you should use Instacart as a customer. I wouldn't.
No.
I think it's great for people that are working for Instacart, but just because of how bad their customer service situation is right now, like if you have any kind of issue, you're screwed.
Yeah, pretty much. Which leads into another hot topic right now, which is tip baiting. What's tip baiting, Steph? On the pedal?
Uh,
Oh my gosh, tip baiters. I heard
tip,
a CNN I read a CNN article and wow, they're really
wow.
getting you, huh? You get a lot
Oh,
of tip
you
baiters,
know,
huh? About
you
every
know, so scared of those tip baiters. No, I'm actually,
Okay,
I
what's
am
tip baiting? Let's start out there.
so tip baiting is when a customer would try to get their order prioritized by leaving a large tip, because with Instacart, when you're accepting a batch, you also see that tip. So a shopper would be more likely to pick a batch that has a higher tip on it. So that's kind of, I think their thought process would be to leave a giant tip, just so their order is prioritized, and then later remove that tip.
Yeah.
So, I'm
So like
so
let's say
sick.
they'll leave a $80 tip and the shopper's like, wow, I'm gonna make
Yeah.
$90 on this. And then
And
like
then they make like $10.
yeah, then they remove it.
Well, I'm really sick of hearing about it. I gotta be honest, like that's all I hear about, just like being in this little Instacart world is like tip
Yeah.
baiting, tip baiting, tip baiting. And I mean, in my experience, it has not happened to me once. Okay. Maybe I'm lucky, call me lucky, but I have heard this information secondhand. So I'm not 100% sure if it's accurate, but I've heard that when you use Instacart as a shopper, at the very end, they ask you, by how much would you like to increase your tip? Or would you like to increase your tip? And if so, by how much?
Yeah.
And if it leans a little area where if someone ends up hitting 0, like it ends up wiping out the entire tip. So I think it's possible that like this could be happening on accident, I think I
Mm,
just explained that wrong, but it's something of that nature. I don't know. I wish I had a
yeah.
screenshot of what that looks like.
Yeah.
But anyways, even if tip baiting is a thing, like my tips, people have been so generous right now. My tips sometimes have been more than 50% of my
Yeah.
overall
I
earnings
was
for the
looking
day.
at some of your screenshots on your videos, and like
Yeah.
you
And
go out and you
remember,
make $100 and like, or no, you get like $100 in earnings, and then you're like $60 in tips. So it's
yeah,
like
I mean, and there's days where the percentage is even higher than that, where I've made more than 50% of my earnings is in tips. So it's like,
crazy.
I'm not worried about tip baiters. Like,
Yeah.
screw,
If
like,
it
I don't
happens,
care.
honestly, if it happens, like,
It's
cool.
not,
Like,
yeah, like okay, maybe you'll get burned by it once, but in my opinion, it's worth the risk to
yeah,
take an order that has a huge tip on it, because I think most people are good and
yeah.
most people understand what's happening right now and the risk that the shoppers are taking by going out, that they are actually tipping really well for that.
Also, side note, like Instacart shoppers there's like a online like community or whatever.
Yeah,
There's no online community for customers. Like they're not like talking about, oh, let's tip bait all these shoppers. Like
I know.
they're just families going out, and like if one random dude wants to do it, then he probably will. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
well, the CNN article though could have possibly given people some ideas, but I really just think the CNN article probably blew everything out of proportion, where every single person that's thinking about being an Instacart shopper is now suddenly hyper aware that they might
yeah,
have a tip baiting situation, when in reality it's like, no, like the people that it is happening to, and yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it happens, those people are screaming so loud that you can't hear the people that are saying like, oh my God, look at this $45 tip I just got along with a stack of masks. Like,
well, I mean, the
come
media
on.
media loves negativity. Media, like people love. It's sad, but like people will respond to, engage with, share an article, a video of somebody stealing a tip from a shopper, rather than, oh, a shopper got a $50 tip. They're like, who cares?
Exactly.
They're who
Yeah,
People don't care about that stuff, which is
I
sad, but
know.
that's how our society is. People
It,
like
it's true.
drama and stuff. So I mean, they're CNN needs to make money. Those people need to make money, so they'll write an article about one case or a couple cases.
I'm
And
trying to see if I can find this comment about, because I know I just explained that wrong to you. I wish I could find this
oh, at the end,
comment.
like when they check out,
No, about what actually happens on the customer's end.
is that all with tip baiting? Are we?
Yeah, I just like, shut up about it, please.
Yeah.
Like, stop. Just stop. If you're worried about it, don't take orders with large tips. I'll take them.
Is there any other like Instacart like drama on that you've like come across? Because I don't really like. I've made a few videos on Instacart, but like
Yeah. I mean, the customers, not customer support, but the shoppers support, just the fact that, the wait time's outrageous, and like, you really can't get through to them half the time. That's the only thing I can think of. So yeah, you just kind of have to be a good problem solver, and like what I did with the refund, that lady's item, that
yeah,
wasn't proper procedure, but Instacart is not going to penalize you for stuff like that right now. They just want people to work. People complain a lot about how many items you have to refund and replace and whatnot, which, yeah, I'm sure normal Instacart shopping is a lot easier, but I mean, I'm not mad about $25 to $30 an hour, you know?
yeah, yeah, for sure. I guess like a couple other complaints I've seen is that like it's taking some people a long time to get actually signed up, approved. Like the background
Oh,
would take a long time.
background check. Yeah, I actually looked into that a little bit. So I think I think they say themselves that it could take 5 to 7 days, but they do their background check through Checker, I
Okay.
think is what it's called. And I'm pretty sure you can actually get on their website and look up the status of it. So
Okay.
my
Nice.
background check was so fast. I think mine was done in like 30 minutes, but I also signed up a little while ago.
Yeah, like I've heard some people saying it's taking them weeks to sign up to get passed, which I don't know if
Yeah.
maybe they just didn't pass the background check or if
I,
they're
I
just like a
I I
huge.
would guess that there's probably some sort of hold up with Checker, the background system. Rather, I mean, it could be Instacart too,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
There might just be so many people like signing up right now. Like I don't know.
yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah. Another question some guy asked: do you need a Costco membership to do Costco orders?
No, I actually haven't done one yet, but I mean, you just have a
I've
barcode.
done one. Yeah, you just it
Yeah.
like when you check out, it prompts like a barcode that you
Hmm.
scan. Um,
Yeah.
Another person said, "Do you think people are using bots to instantly accept good batches?"
What the hell?
Hey, I think so. What about you? They
I think
definitely are using. They
people
definitely
are,
use bots, right?
yeah.
They have little robots set up that tap the screen really fast.
I don't even know how to respond
This
to
is
that
from
question.
Happy Camper. She also said, "Today I spent 2 hours waiting for deliveries. My area is pathetic."
Yeah, I think that, unfortunately, some areas are just not as good as others. And
Somebody
I mean,
actually commented, it's their market is really oversaturated with shoppers, and
hmm
I
yeah,
have never heard that
I
anywhere.
have.
Oh, you
I've
have?
heard that.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I
Maybe I
have
should
heard
delete my
that.
comment. I was like,
No,
because I guess people
so
need money, so they're signing up. So is that why?
maybe, yeah, and just not as much demand because I think I don't know for whatever reason, like maybe like some town in Illinois isn't as hip to using Instacart as like people in California are. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
So there's that, and then just I think I mean it may be worth trying to go to a larger city. Like if you're not far from a larger city, you can drive further from your home base and still get batches.
Yeah.
So if they're like a half hour away from a larger city, maybe it's worth doing that.
He said he's outside of Houston.
I would expect that to be a good area to do batches in. That seems
Maybe
weird. I
maybe
mean, I
he's
would
in like a small suburb or like
maybe, but
yeah.
maybe if he drove closer to Houston, maybe he would get batches.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. Like, I mean, I've some people in Florida have been going crazy saying that it's like the batches disappear so fast. Like they have to be like ready to hit it really quickly or else they won't get it.
Hmm.
Where here I look at batches and it's like they stay up there for a while. So I can really take my time to look at them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's different. It's a little bit different everywhere.
So I want to hear some of your thoughts on reasons why some Instacart shoppers might get deactivated. I don't think a lot of people are really talking about this, but there are terms of service that shoppers need to follow, just like on any Uber app or any
Hmm.
gig app. Driving for Uber, you can't drive with your friend in the front seat, or else
Mm.
you can't drive. You have to have your phone. You have to be hands free, or else you can get reported, get deactivated, speeding,
Hmm.
etc. Um, what else with Uber? There's like people leaving false reports on Uber. It happens a lot. So there's a lot of ways that people get deactivated.
Hmm.
I got deactivated. Well, this is another story, but I got deactivated from Lyft for trying to get their paid sick leave and whatever. Like that's a whole nother story. But I want to talk about Instacart. I have like 5 ways that shoppers might get deactivated.
Hmm.
These are just kind of some things that I scrounged up from the comments, and so I don't know if you heard, but there have been some cases of shoppers stealing groceries.
I have heard about that. Yeah.
So Somebody commented, because I mentioned about that, and there were some articles about that, but somebody also commented saying that shoppers might actually be, there might be some problem with the order, and the shopper, like that lady, I don't know, she tried to cancel her order, and then she got the groceries, and then, I don't know, maybe she leaves a report saying, oh, I never got my groceries, or I don't know. I think there might be like some miscommunication, especially with the fact that that the support is down. So have you heard of shoppers stealing groceries?
I mean, yeah, I've heard a little bit about like people maybe adding like a drink on to their order or something. Like they would just like throw a drink on for themselves and
Oh,
then
really?
back out with it just because they think like it's not going to be noticed, I guess. But I mean, it seems like I don't know why anyone would just like steal an entire order worth of groceries. Like that makes no sense to me. I mean, you're obviously not going to get away with that.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. I don't know why that's a thing that would be happening, but I kind of don't necessarily think it's true. Like, I mean, are you getting this information from customers probably? Because, I mean, customers might think that their order was stolen, but really like something messed up happened along the way to where,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
I've seen like some articles on it just from, I guess, customers complaining because they probably can't get through. I think it was they couldn't get through to Instacart support, so what they ended up doing is just talking to the media about them
have
not
you
getting their
ever,
groceries and still having to pay for it. So
mm-hmm.
like if they
There's all sorts of customer support issues with Instacart. Like
so
it's
if a customer
insane.
buys $200 worth of groceries and there's an issue, the shopper gets a flat tire, the shopper can't check out, the shopper whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's so
And
many
can't get a
alternate.
hold of Instacart to notify them, then yeah,
And
they're going to go home with the groceries because what else are they going to do?
yeah, and so, or if there's a gate code, I don't know if the customer's never used Instacart, they can't communicate, whatever it might be. If the customer pays $200 and gets no groceries, what do they think? They're probably going to
They're
report
going to think they were stolen.
they were
Yeah.
stolen, and they're going to reach out to the media about it. Um, so
Yeah.
it was on USA Today, International Business, CBS Atlanta. Like, there's a lot of them are kind of like, it's mostly upset customers looking for refunds and they can't get
Oh
any
yeah.
refunds. So like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
um,
have customers come to my videos and complain on them all the time and
I
tell me
had
they got
a
ripped off. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't help you. Sorry.
what I might think is that like somebody, maybe they, I don't know, are low on money, like we all are right now, and they get a huge batch and then they're like, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna steal it. I could see that happening.
I think
I
like
think it's
it's
rare, but like,
possible, but I feel like that's not happening regularly at
no,
all. There's no way.
yeah. But
Um,
support is like the biggest issue, and you have
yeah, I mean, they've got to figure it out.
yeah. Um, Another one I heard is that like, well, so obviously a shopper could get risk. It's kind of a risk that you might run into getting deactivated. It could be like not your own fault, but whatever, of getting accused of stealing groceries. Another one, have you do you is there have you do you get ratings on your thing?
They have rating forgiveness right now.
Okay,
So,
they're not.
so my rating is 5 stars. I had a 1 star rating that was forgived.
Why do you know why it was a 1 star?
I have a guess as to who rated me 1 star. I think it was the second order I ever had. And it was totally not my fault. I actually sent her a message through the app when I showed up to her mansion, by the way. She was very angry with me and said, I've been trying to get a hold of you. And I said, well, I messaged you in the app. You never responded. And she's like, okay. But yeah, I think there was
Oh
probably
my
just
gosh.
some glitch in the app to where she didn't receive my messages and I wasn't receiving anything from her.
Yeah.
So not my fault at all, which is good that they have the rating forgiveness. But yeah, that she dropped my tip from significantly. She had like a $20 tip on there, and I think I got $4. Not even my fault.
What did she want to talk to you about?
She said she initially wanted to cancel the order because she saw that I wasn't able to get her like bougie hamburger or something. I don't even remember. Like she couldn't get organic beef and I had to get her regular beef. So she wanted to like cancel the whole order. She had a huge order. I don't remember. It was weird. She got like 60 things of yogurt. Like who hoards yogurt? That's like, how can you even
that's like
yogurt?
very perishable too. It only lasts
so
like
weird. It was so weird.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, it's in any job, like you're gonna run into people who just have crazy high demands.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but especially if you work, I mean, this is technically a customer service job.
You're right.
You're communicating with them and serving people.
Right.
Shopping with friends. I've heard of people getting deactivated for actually doing this, because I don't know if I know back in the day, I guess they just kind of stopped doing this, but like they had in-store shoppers.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still doing that, but like
I think they are a little.
So
I think they're still doing
they
a little
launched
bit.
this new program where like people would just shop all day, and then the Instacart like shoppers like you and me, like we would just go and pick up groceries and not
to just deliver, right?
do delivery. But I guess there was like some cases I've heard of people doing that with their friends, and somebody who worked at Instacart like reported them or something. I don't really know what it was.
I mean, that's really stupid to begin with, but I've heard some people talk about this too, and then someone showed a couple screenshots of what it looks or what the terms of service say. And if you read through the terms of service, it's very vague about that, to where it kind of seems like it might be okay, but that you might need to send Instacart a background check of the person that you're shopping with. Personally, like, I'm not going to risk doing that. I had somebody vlog me while I was shopping, so I guess I already did it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to turn you in? Like maybe the in-store shopper, if there is, like, I don't know.
Well, the problem that I see with it is that if you're bringing somebody along, it's kind of a gray area, because let's say you and I are doing a shopping together and we're using your account. And I tried to sign up for Instacart, but they denied me because I have a criminal record, you know? And now I'm doing this along with you, and I'm also going to the person's house with you. I'm also going up to the door with you.
Right.
And as for Instacart, they advertise it as like, oh yeah, we do background checks on all of our shoppers. Oh yeah, they're coming to your door. They're sometimes they're coming inside. I mean, before all this stuff. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't really go inside anyway, but like even going in the door. And then in that case, like it could also lead to just, oh, hey, Steph, oh, you're feeling sick today. Oh yeah, no, I'll use your account. We always use your account anyway.
Right.
And now it's me going on, and it could be.
That's true.
I think that's like, if there's any report, I could see there's a big potential, and people would just do it like that. So
that makes sense.
That's kind of all I suggest being safer about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, try not to. But
I've seen like with I think it was either Postmates or Uber Eats that I've ordered through multiple times, and like the person in the photo is not the person that shows up in my door.
Oh, really?
Like, I've had that happen to me multiple times.
Yeah, I'm sure people are just borrowing each other's accounts.
Oh yeah. Especially if there's any kind of like bonus or guarantee or something that they could get for doing it.
I've seen like on Craigslist, like people selling their accounts and stuff.
That's creepy.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm tired.
We covered a lot.
Yeah, we talked forever.
Maybe we can do this again in 2022 when the lockdown is over.
Nice.
How long do you think this is gonna last, by the way? All this coronavirus lockdown stuff. What's your take on it?
I think that this is affecting people that have deep pockets. It's not discriminating against people that, it's not only affecting poor people. So I think that will kind of push us to make our, the higher ups to get us back out there quickly, as quick as they can. I don't know that I have that answer, but I mean, personally, like I can't, I think we should be quarantined a lot longer than I think we will be.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they'll loosen up a little bit and then we'll just end up having to go right back to it.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's some interesting stuff that other countries are doing too. That, like, I don't know if you know Sweden, but they don't have any stay-at-home orders at all right now. Like,
Herd immunity.
They're just, yeah, like, there's different approaches that people are taking. I think what will probably happen is, like, if stuff will just kind of slowly open up, but it's gonna kind of be weird, and then, like, people will just be really scared to, like, go out for a while, and so, like, businesses will be open but their revenue will be, like, just down. So it's like, what do you do if you open a restaurant now, and then there's just like, the restaurants are just kind of, people are going but not really. So I think universities will be really interesting to see what they do.
Yeah. It would be easy enough for them just to switch to online, I feel like.
Yeah.
And do that for a while.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's weird.
It's definitely interesting time, especially for like the gig economy. Like, it's adapting like crazy to, you were really the pinnacle of, like, just switching over to an app that has, like, crazy high demand. So yeah, I'm, like, on the back burners, not going out and doing all this stuff, and just kind of watching and, like, reporting on it all. So but typically I would go out and do my rides and then talk about it and whatever, but now I'm not. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your plan for the next couple of months?
I'm gonna focus on
Your
doing
YouTube channel is blowing up, by the way.
I know, I'm so excited about my YouTube channel, and
that'll be a really good side hustle. Are you going to talk about how much money you're going to start making on there too? Like,
I doubt it.
I think it's interesting to, like, show that, like, hey, I'm making money here. Like,
well, I have another YouTube channel that I kind of let die, and this is sort of like reawakening me to where, like, I kind of want to go do some stuff on this other channel, even though I know it's going to be more of like a passion project and I'm probably really not going to profit from it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I've always loved YouTube. So, like, just being able to, like, actually get a little bit of success from YouTube is really freaking cool. And yeah, I'm going to have to lean into that.
People really like you. People like you a lot.
Thanks.
You see that, obviously, right? I don't read your comments, but I see your ratings, like, are just crazy high. So
yeah, no, it's cool. I don't know, I try to be as, like, authentic as I possibly can be without giving every single detail of my life, but I think I've already given a fair bit of that.
Maybe more than camera, so, like,
what's that?
I say you did cry on camera. So
I cried on camera,
that barrier pretty quickly.
I still can't believe that I posted that. Like, I don't know what I don't know. Like, I don't regret posting it. It still feels weird to know that there's, like, a video of me crying on the internet. Like, that's strange.
Yeah.
But I don't know. People seem to really, like, relate and resonate with it. So, I'm not going to pull it down.
Yeah. And obviously you're not, like, doing drama videos all the time. So it's like,
yeah,
a good taste of, like, real life. But
Yeah.
well, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
It's
spending
been,
4 hours of your night on.
I feel like it was like 4 hours. Jeez. My gosh. How much more can I talk about Instacart? Instacart's like my life right now, man.
Sorry to
Like go work
bombard you.
Instacart. I have to talk about Instacart all day. I have to get on my YouTube channel and talk about more Instacart. Like
Yeah.
so much Instacart.
Sweet. Well, all right. Thank you.
Yay. Come see me over at Steph On The Pedal if you're still putting this in the video.
Yeah, we will. All right.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.